All right, let's move on to best surprise actor or actress. Dave, what do you have for this category?
All right. So for this category, I, kind of jokingly mentioned, I was not familiar with your game. That's how I
Yeah.
see this. Like an actor who I did not know that they had a performance like that in them. So obviously the first nominee is Sydney Sweeney. I already mentioned that previously, that this was a very big surprise to me that she had that performance in her. The second one is Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu. Definitely did not know she had that in her emotionally or physically. Star of the Idol. I was not expecting that in Nosferatu. Next is Justice Smith for I Saw the TV Glow. Just a tremendous, tremendous performance. It's one of those performances that if you're not moved by it, I have a lot of questions to ask you, and I'm not sure we should hang out because there's a deep connection. Because I think there were a lot of people kind of saying unless you're queer, unless you're trans, you can't connect with this movie, and I could not disagree more with that. And much of that is due to Justice Smith's performance. Maya Hawke, who we talked about previously for Wildcat. She's on that horrible Netflix show that I can't stand. So I was like, not interested. And then I saw this and I was like, okay, now interested in whatever you want to do. Because Wildcat was her baby. It was her idea. And that's the reason Ethan Hawke directed it, is she went to him and said, I want you to direct my movie. And how must that feel as a father to have your daughter being like, this is my passion project, only you can direct it? That's got to be a pretty cool feeling. And then my last nominee, talk about shocking, Andy Samberg in Lee this year. Lee is
didn't see it.
Not a movie that I loved. I wrote a review on our website. I found it kind of middling. I think there are a lot of mistakes made, but the performances are quite good. Kate Winslet, shocking, is good because she's always good. But Andy Samberg in a dramatic role. When I heard this, I was like,
interesting.
And I like Andy Samberg as a comedic actor, but I was kind of this is not going to work. I can't, but he's quite good and quite he has some emotionally resonant scenes. And I was definitely very, very surprised. This award's really tough for me to call. Throw the men out. It's between the three women. And I just it's so hard. And I think I'm going to go with Maya Hawke. I did not see that coming, both from a producing perspective and from an acting perspective. I think it is a deeply difficult role because Flannery O'Connor is not she's not a character like, oh, I automatically like her. What a total sweetheart. It's Meg Ryan and You've Got Mail. Is not that kind of character. She is abrasive and difficult and starts fights. And sometimes you're on her side and sometimes you're not. But I think she kind of owns the screen in every single scene. And she is in every single scene in this movie. So Maya Hawke for my best surprise.
Love it. Yeah, she's really great in that film. I love that performance as well. Almost had her for this category. Ultimately ended up going for best overlooked performance because I do think it is maybe that for me more than surprise. I mean, I've always known her to be a really great actress. But man, she really lives and breathes that character fully, and it's fantastic. I do wish more people saw it, or that the film was maybe better received. I don't know. I would argue it's still good. Either way, the performance is excellent. Love that pick.
Yeah, we have some crossover already in our nominees, Dave. I also have Sydney Sweeney from Immaculate and Justice Smith from I Saw the TV Glow, but I also have Ed Harris from Love Lies Bleeding giving a slimy performance that I'm sure he was certainly capable of, but not that slimy. That's what really took me off.
Very different for him.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I have Chris Hemsworth from Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, and Leslie Manville from Queer. who I didn't even know it was her for a good 10 minutes until
I knew she was in it, and I still didn't know it was her.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
That's
Wait, really? Yeah.
If that's not a good criteria for a surprise performance, I don't know what is.
Yes.
And when I say it that way, you would think I'm giving her the award here, but I'm actually giving it to Justice Smith from I Saw the TV Glow, primarily because of his back catalog, his back filmography leading up to a movie like this. I would never have expected.
What are you trying to say about that back catalog, Brendan? Out with it.
The screamer from Jurassic World would then give a performance like this. The kid from Detective Pikachu, really?
Right.
Yeah. So there's just the evidence wasn't quite there yet, and all of a sudden, wow,
Great.
this is one of the best performances of the year. So good job, Justice. I'm on your train right now.
Yeah. Excellent choice.
Yeah. I think what's also interesting about the trajectory of the year for Justice Smith, because spoiler alert, as we get into my nominees, he's on my list as well. So he does get the trifecta here. But before I Saw the TV Glow comes out, he's in the American Society of Magical Negroes, which isn't
also
that
5
good
stars,
of a movie.
right? Yeah, like just a perfect
Awesome movie.
Perfect
Another
movie.
masterpiece. Yeah. No, that film is terrible, and it's another Justice Smith performance. There wasn't anything all that extraordinary about the film or his performance in it. So when I Saw the TV Glow comes out, and you're fresh off of that movie and that performance, his work in I Saw the TV Glow is even more astounding. It's quite remarkable. So I am totally there with you, Brendan. Justice Smith, a nominee for me. As far as my other 4 nominees, I have Josh Hartnett for the film Trap. Absolutely adore everything about that performance. Not sure we've seen anything like that from him before, but I love how he taps into that character. The definition of surprise. The next nominee for me is Michelle Buteau from the film Babes. I think she gives one of the funniest performances of the year.
I knew this was coming.
But
the opening scene is so funny.
So good. It's an incredible comedic performance. But there are moments in that film when it's more grounded where I think she's also really, really good as well. Those scenes are maybe the most underrated about that film.
I actually think she's better dramatically than comedically in that movie. She's always I think
really that's very
funny.
Fair. Honestly, as
you.
much as I love the opening scene of the film, I equally think of that breakdown she has when she's struggling to feed her child. Obviously, I don't have that experience personally, but I have seen that firsthand. So I know the depths of that grief and how much of a stronghold that is. And I think she taps into that impeccably. I mean, truly a great performance in that film. Now, the next two nominees, I've given out 3. So my last 2 here, I picked them for similar-ish reasons in the sense that they've been around for a long time, but they give these large, fantastic performances that I definitely did not see coming. One of those is Demi Moore for The Substance and Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl. And my winner here is Pamela Anderson. Demi Moore, Josh Hartnett, Michelle Buteau to some degree, like we've seen work from them. I think what they did this year was really great. Certainly surprised me. That's obviously why they're here. But in terms of the surprise factor, other than Justice Smith, because that one was quite large, as we noted before, but there's something about what Pamela Anderson does in a performance I did not know that she had, on just flatly did not know that she had. And I think she is the strength of that film. It's a little similar to me in terms of what we talked about with Cillian Murphy and Small Things Like These, because the material for The Last Showgirl I don't think is great, and so much of it is reliant on her performance and the emotional trajectory of that character and how she gives that resonance. And especially when you couple that with the catharsis that we see in those final moments, I was absolutely struck by it. It's phenomenal. Really, really great. And she might be on her way to an Oscar nomination now that SAG has come out.
Possible.
And she was obviously nominated for a Globe as well. So I don't know.
If there is a theme, we have no idea what's going to happen, Oscar.
We have no idea what's going to happen. That's very,
Yes.
very true. But there's
Yeah,
momentum there, and if she does get the nomination, I think it is well warranted. She's not gonna crack my 5 when we get to Best Actress. Spoiler alert. But I think she's really, really great, and I wanted to recognize that performance because I do think it is one of the best of the year. And again, in terms of the surprise factor, there wasn't a performance that surprised me more than that one.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wonder if that movie, if it had a better script, I think I would be way on board. I just think it doesn't quite give her enough to do. I think she's quite good. I think everyone actually gives good performances in that movie. Of course, it hinges on her, but like it's just not quite there as far as
it
the
feels like
script
a first draft is the way we talked about it.
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
Honestly, I think that is the prowess of the performance to me, because I still think there is a fully realized arc with the character that's not really there in the screenplay. It is all in her performance.
You know, a performance is really good when it's almost functioning like a ghostwriter on the movie in some ways.
Right.
It's a magic trick that she pulls off, and I just did not know that was in her wheelhouse. And
good for her.
she blew me away. Absolutely love that performance. So my winner for Best Surprise Actor or Actress,